In computing, Ceph is a free software storage platform that stores data on a single distributed computer cluster, and provides interfaces for object, block and file-level storage. Ceph aims primarily to be completely distributed without a single point of failure, scalable to the exabyte level, and freely available. Ceph replicates data and makes it fault-tolerant, using commodity hardware and requiring no specific hardware support. As a result of his design, the system is both self-healing and self-managing, aiming to minimize administration time and other costs. Design. Ceph employs 4 distinct kinds of daemons: cluster monitors that keep track of active and failed cluster nodes, metadata servers that store the metadata of inodes and directories, object storage devices that actually store the content of files. Ideally, OSDs store their data on a local BTRFS file system to leverage its built-in copy-on-write capabilities, though other local file systems can be used instead. Representational state transfer gateways that expose the object storage layer as an interface compatible with Amazon S3 or OpenStack Swift APIs, all of these are fully distributed, and may run on the same set of servers. Clients directly interact with all of them. Ceph does striping of individual files across multiple nodes to achieve higher throughput, similarly to how RAIDO stripes partitions across multiple hard drives. Adaptive load balancing is supported whereby frequently accessed objects are replicated over more nodes. As of December 2014, underlying file systems recommended for production environments are ext4 and XFS, while BTRFS and ZFS are recommended for non-production environments. Object storage equals. Ceph implements distributed object storage. Ceph are Euro-unregistered trademark S software libraries provide client applications with direct access to the reliable autonomic distributed object store object-based storage system, and also provide a foundation for some of Ceph are Euro-unregistered trademark S features, including RADOS block device, RADOS gateway, and the Ceph file system. The Librados software libraries provide access in C, C++, Java, PHP, and Python. The RADOS gateway also exposes the object store as a RESTful interface which can present as both native Amazon S3 and OpenStack Swift APIs. Block storage Ceph are Euro-unregistered trademark S object storage system allows users to mount Ceph as a thinly provisioned block device. When an application writes data to Ceph using a block device, Ceph automatically stripes and replicates the data across the cluster. Ceph's RADOS block device also integrates with kernel-based virtual machines. Ceph RBD interfaces with the same Ceph object storage system that provides the Librados interface and the CEPHFS file system, and it stores block device images as objects. Since RBD is built on Librados, RBD inherits Librados abilities, including read-only snapshots and revert to snapshot. By striping images across the cluster, Ceph improves read access performance for large block device images. The block device is supported in virtualization platforms, including Apache CloudStack, OpenStack, OpenNebula, Gentoo, and Proxmox virtual environment. These integrations allow administrators to use Ceph's block device as the storage for their virtual machines in these environments. File system Ceph are Euro-unregistered trademark S file system runs on top of the same object storage system that provides object storage and block device interfaces. The Ceph metadata server cluster provides a service that maps the directories and file names of the file system to objects stored within RADOS clusters. The metadata server cluster can expand or contract, and it can rebalance the file system dynamically to distribute data evenly among cluster hosts. This ensures high performance and prevents heavy loads on specific hosts within the cluster. Clients mount the POSIX-compatible file system using a Linux kernel client. On March 19, 2010, Linus Torvalds merged the Ceph client into Linux kernel version 2.6.34 which was released on May 16, 2010. An older Fuse-based client is also available. The servers run as regular Unix daemons. History: Ceph was initially created by Sage Weil for his doctoral dissertation, which was advised by Professor Scott A. Brandt in the Jack Baskin School of Engineering at the University of California, Santa Cruz and funded by the United States Department of Energy and National Nuclear Security Administration, involving Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, Los Alamos National Laboratory, and Sandia National Laboratories. After his graduation in fall 2007, Weil continued to work on Ceph full-time, and the core development team expanded to include Yehuda Sadie Weinraub and Gregory Farnham. In 2012, Weil created Inktank Storage for professional services and support for Ceph. In April 2014, Red Hat purchased Inktank, bringing the majority of Ceph development in-house. Argonaut. On July 3, 2012, the Ceph development team released Argonaut, the first major stable release of Ceph. This release will receive stability fixes and performance updates only, and new features will be scheduled for future releases. Bobtail. On January 1, 2013, the Ceph development team released Bobtail, the second major stable release of Ceph. This release focused primarily on stability, performance, and upgradability from the previous Argonaut stable series. Cuttlefish. On May 7, 2013, the Ceph development team released Cuttlefish, the third major stable release of Ceph. This release included a number of feature and performance enhancement, as well as being the first stable release to feature the Ceph deployment tool in favor of the previous MKCEPHFS method of deployment. Dumpling. On August 14, 2013, the Ceph development team released Dumpling, the fourth major stable release of Ceph. This release included a first pass at global namespace and region support, a REST API for monitoring and management functions, improved support for Red Hat Enterprise Linux derivatives-based platforms. Emperor. On November 9, 2013, the Ceph development team released Emperor, the fifth major stable release of Ceph. This release brings several new features, including multi-data center replication for the RDOS, improved usability, and lands a lot of incremental performance and internal refactoring work to support upcoming features in Firefly. Firefly. On May 7, 2014, the Ceph development team released Firefly, the sixth major stable release of Ceph. This release brings several new features, including erasure coding, cache tiering, primary affinity, key-value OSD backend, standalone RDOS. Giant. On October 29, 2014, the Ceph development team released Giant, the seventh major stable release of Ceph. Hammer. On April 7, 2015, the Ceph development team released Hammer, the eighth major stable release of Ceph. It is expected to form the basis of the next long-term stable series. It is intended to supersede v0.80x Firefly. Infernalis. On November 6, 2015, the Ceph development team released Infernalis, the ninth major stable release of Ceph. It will be the foundation for the next stable series. There have been some major changes since v0.94x Hammer, and the upgrade process is non-trivial. Etymology. The name Ceph is a common nickname given to pet octopuses and derives from cephalopods, a class of mollusks, and ultimately from ancient Greek II micron II plus or minus II registered trademark, meaning head, and I euro II to the first, meaning leg. The name suggests the highly parallel behavior of an octopus and was chosen to connect the file system with UCSC's mascot, a banana slug called Sammy. Banana slugs are gastropods, which are also a class of mollusks. See also. References. Further reading, Official Ceph documentation, M. Tim Jones. Ceph, a Linux petabyte scale distributed file system. DeveloperWorks Linux Technical Library. Retrieved May 6, 2010. Jeffrey B. Layton. Ceph, the distributed file system creature from the Object Lagoon. Linux Magazine. Retrieved April 24, 2010. Carlos Molson, Esteban Molina Estelano, Amondeep Kurena, Alex J. Nelson, Scott A. Brandt, and Sage Weil. Ceph is a scalable alternative to the Hadoop distributed file system. Login, 35. Retrieved March 9, 2012. Martin Loschwitz. the RADOS object store on Ceph file system. HPC Admin Magazine. Retrieved April 25, 2012. External links, official website, Red Hat Ceph, UCSC Systems Research Lab website, Storage Systems Research Center website, Ceph Performance and Optimization.